Hey, Jesse, you said something after the game. It was like, hey, that was what it was supposed to look like, what y'all did in Minnesota. After film review, did you still feel that way, that, y'all saw some stuff, some progress being made on that field last Sunday night?
Yeah, for sure. Anytime you can affect a quarterback with sacks and capitalize on the mishops that we missed out on week one, that's what it looks like. And there's still things that we can clean up, I think, before the 2 minute. We gave up 6 points, but still we could have eliminated 3 points off the board right before the half. A cleanup between me and X on the back end. So I thought we played pretty well overall, though, for sure.
What do you see from the Carolina team? I guess they got hot in the fourth quarter last week.
Yeah, they've been playing behind for the first 2 weeks. They're kind of getting out to a slow start, but obviously they're more than capable of putting up points, as they've shown in that fourth quarter against the Cardinals. Bryce, getting that offense, I feel like they're much better, when they're in tempo and, Bryce is lining up. He can see the whole picture. That's just something that we got to be aware of, I think, a little bit more, up-tempo and getting the picture clear for Bryce. So he's a smart quarterback for sure.
Did you get a chance to meet the new kicker, Parker Romo?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, because I know he didn't know everyone's name by the time the game came.
Yeah. That's it's a weird deal for him, I'm sure. He's coming in to compete. He'll eventually get to know everybody's name, I think. But I think he did a hell of a job last week, and his first impression, on this team has been great. So it's good.
Rook and Brandon Dorlus didn't play a ton last year as rookies, and they really started to come into their own, and they're playing really, really well in the interior of the D-line. Mm-hmm. What kind of progress have you seen from them, not just on the field, but also like confidence-wise?
Yeah, I just think they're pros now. Last year I thought they came in and, sometimes that first year is kind of like, all right, let me see how I can, how do I move and how do I operate throughout the building. And I think both of them, got challenged this offseason by Raheem and, the guys upstairs to go and, work their craft. And I think they came back much better for sure. And it shows, and I'm happy for those guys.
Have there been moments where, you're watching them and you've been like, oh man, I didn't know he had that in him. Mm-hmm. I was surprised by that play.
Yeah, I would say throughout training camp there was multiple times where Brick would, highlight those guys, whether it's Root getting off the ball, with his pass rush moves. Brandon and Rook are like best friends. They're like yin and yang, and very similar players, and I think they can help each other elevate for sure.
Given what you just said about the first years can be kind of a whirlwind, mm-hmm. How much more impressive in that context are what your 4 rookies are doing, at least now?
Yeah. We talked about this throughout, spring when we even drafted those guys, that they were going to be playing a lot of snaps. And I'm not surprised by, the success that they're having, just because I watched the process and how they can mentally, process what we're doing on defense, and to see it come to life, to see them make impact plays that changed the whole game last week was really cool to see. And, that's just a start. And those guys got to continue to do that every single week. I'm excited for their future for sure.
On a different subject, do you have much experience as a gunner on the kick return teams? It's not a Mike Ford question, but I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I don't have much experience. I've done punt return a couple times, but definitely got a lot of respect for what he's doing out there. You talk about field position and special teams. They call it themselves the special ops. They come in and create field position for the offense, or they create it for our defense. So those are huge plays with Mike Ford for sure.
What does it take to be a good gunner? What are the qualities of that position?
Yeah, you got to be a little bit thrown off, I think. You see those guys getting double teamed.
Right.
There's no head start or anything like that. You just gotta have a dog-eat-dog mentality, I think, at any position on special teams, right? I think it's just a different type of play that, a lot of people don't get a lot of credit for it. But as a team, I think we know how important our special teams are.
Both the Panthers and the Falcons had like mid-season quarterback changes last year for very different reasons. But now that Penix and Young have both settled into their starting roles, everything can change always in this league. But do you see them as kind of like the face of this rivalry or the face of like the NFC South moving forward since they are both so young?
Yeah, for sure. I think Bryce is over there for a reason. He struggled a little bit last year, and I think my guy Andy Dalton came in, and then Bryce, he played really well on the second half of the season, and proved to himself that he can, be a starter, be that franchise quarterback, and then, I have no worries about our guy over here. So, I think those guys will be, head of their franchises for sure, but I think our guy is much better for sure.
What's it like being back there, far away from the defensive line, but still seeing them get so much pressure? I mean, I can't remember the last time 6 sacks happened on a Falcons defense. So, what's it like for you playing behind something like that?
Yeah, it helps. It helps us on the back end for sure. When those quarterbacks aren't just scrambling around all day, got time to, extend plays. It's definitely helpful for us as DBs. You tend to see like quarterbacks start speeding up their reads, and they're not just looking us off the whole time. Or you see these receivers, they start breaking off their routes a little bit quicker. Don't have much time to dance at the line, so it helps. We always talk about coverage and rush working together, and I think that was on display last week for sure.
And I guess to that same tune, holding Justin to 3 catches, no touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Vast change from last season. Obviously, it's different, but kind of talk about the coverage, being able to work in conjunction with a rush, like you just said.
Yeah. We always say, do your job so your brother can do his. And I think that's a huge quote on, our rush doing their job so our back end can do theirs. And then after that, everybody eats. Everybody can be rich, and, we all can get paid and make plays. That's just how it works. You got to do your job so your brother can do his.
How different is this defense from the last time y'all played the Panthers?
Very different. I think you can I think the last game of the season was not a definition of what this defense wants to look like. And last time they came in here, they scored a lot of points. And us as a defense now, I think we're much improved, much more polished than last year for sure. They're a lot different for sure.
Because there are so many younger guys on the defense, how did you make sure after such a big win in Minnesota that they're kind of head on straight this week and not letting the excitement get to them?
Yeah, that's what I just said. I mean, it's nice to have a big time win like that on prime time, but no matter what time it is, what time we play, the level of execution has to be the exact same. So this week has to be the same. It's no different. The way we're processing, through our third down into our red zone tomorrow, like everything has to be the exact same or even better as we continue to move forward. And I think we're doing the right things in here and preaching the right things. If you can't be happy, you can't be satisfied and be up and down like the rest of this league is. If we want to be special, we got to be very detailed and very different in our process as well.
Anything else? All right. Thanks, y'all.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for your time.
What you got, D-Lad?
Yeah, Coach, how you feel that units played last week against the Vikings, and what will be some of the keys here heading into the Panthers game?
Just a brief recap on last week. Again, that's the standard when our guys go out there and we can create and control field position. Huge credit starting with Bradley, doing a great job with the kickoffs and punts, with the kickoff and game plan, kickoff and punt game plan. And then guys like Mike Ford being disruptive in coverage. DeMarco Helms, great to have him back. He had a couple of tackles. Josh Woods, first game up for the season. He was impactful as a cover player. Then he talked about guys like D. Alford, who had 2 tackles on kickoff, going down and making plays. And our guys understand just playing disciplined football. And when we play discipline, and that allows us to play fast and be physical and put our defense in great field position, which correlates to team football, complementary football. So that was really cool to see those guys do that. I want to give a huge shout out to one of the unsung heroes when we had AJ go down. D, we had to move some guys around because D was starting on defense, and it was really cool to see Natron Brooks. He didn't get any returns, but he made sure that we secured the ball for our offense as the punt returner. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of like down the line as a punt returner, but to be able to go in the game and catch the ball in traffic and give us field position and control, that where the most important thing in the return game is make sure we have the ball next play. Mm-hmm. So he did a great job there, and it's cool to just see our guys play with passion and play with energy. And each and every week, that's what it is, and that's our standard. And then, bringing in Romo and him going in adverse situation, going into a hostile environment and being able just to do his job and put the ball through the uprights, give Bradley credit, and also to Liam. When you bring in a new kicker, the operation needs to be on point. And so he could take as much stress off the kicker as possible. And those guys did a great job, along with our O-line and our tight ends, Felipe and Charlie Warner, going out there and to protect and make sure we put the ball through the uprights.
You were talking with Jesse a few minutes ago. He's been wearing the hat, special teams hat. And is that this year where you all are calling yourselves special ops, like the Gunners?
Because everybody on special teams, it's not even just the Gunners, it's the whole team. Everybody's a part of special teams. So every one of our players have those hats, and we believe, great plays are made from great effort, and we got to take advantage of any opportunity that we get because we're guaranteed a kickoff and a kickoff return each and every game. So whether we're playing 27 plays, 32 plays, how can we maximize and take advantage of those opportunities in game? And it's cool to see our guys, we don't have to sell anything. I don't have to get buy-in. They believe in what they're doing. It's my job as a coach, coaching special teams, to show the importance of special teams and how it directly or indirectly helps outcomes of games, or indirectly or directly help with outcomes of our offense and defense and what we do. And every single player in the building, they believe in special teams and they believe in their role within special teams. So that, like I said before, Mark, those guys, they don't have to play on special teams. They get to play on special teams. And you saw it on Sunday, like everybody's contributing. And then if a guy make a tackle, you see everybody from the sideline celebrating. And it was pretty cool to see those guys be locked in and have fun while doing their job. Whether a guy's a starter on offense or he's a starter on defense, they're helping us on special teams.
Effort, attitude, technique, that's the three.
Yes, it is. Effort, attitude, technique. Effort, great plays are made from great effort. Attitude, that determines our direction and our mindset, because that mindset is everything. And then technique, our technique, if we play with the right technique, that is our edge. So each and every, that's something, it's not anything new that I made up. It's just, that's what our guys do, Mark. And it's our job as coaches and players to hold each other to that standard and hold each other accountable. So play in and play out that we're playing with effort, attitude, and technique.
Did y'all have a little meet and greet this week for Parker Romo, since he was not aware of everyone's name on Sunday?
What we did before we got on the bus to go to the airport in Minneapolis, we just lined everybody up alphabetical order and introduced them to everybody. I'm joking, we didn't do that. Yeah, but like Ross said, everybody knows him. So we have a great locker room. Everybody's very supportive of each other, and everybody wants the best for each other. Yeah. So it's pretty cool to have that.
I thought it was just kind of like, it's a funny thing, but it's also, it kind of speaks to he just dialed in and did his job without even knowing some of the folks on his own team. He just got the job done.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing that position, you could get away with some of those things on a short notice, coming in on a Tuesday, practicing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, travel Saturday to go play in the game. That position, those are kind of some things you could get away with doing. It's not ideal, but it's cool to, when you have a player like Parker who comes in, puts his head down, he's in an uncomfortable environment. It's our job as coaches and as an organization to make him as comfortable as possible and get him and onboard him as fast as possible so he could go out there and do his job at the highest level.
That can't be an easy thing to do, because he also was very well aware of how raucous that Minnesota crowd is, because he played there last year, on the home team.
Yeah.
This time he was, the victim of that, or at least on the wrong side of those fans.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if you're locked in and you're in the present, you focus on your process, you're kicking the ball. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I'm locked in as a coach, I don't realize that we're in front of thousands of fans are playing on national TV. That doesn't matter. So the process-driven, which our whole room is, all of our specialists are. And when we're locked into what we're doing, it doesn't matter the situation or the atmosphere. Because if we go out there and we play with the right mindset and we play with the right effort, attitude, technique, like we control that atmosphere, which we did on Sunday. And that's the challenge each and every week, whether we're playing on the road or we're playing at home.
So his experience in US Bank Stadium before, did it factor into the decision to sign him to the practice squad?
No.
Okay.
I mean, they were quiet for him when he was kicking. That's a totally different beast when you're the opponent kicker. But that didn't play into factor because playing indoors is playing indoors. I could see if you're playing at Buffalo, at the stadium that they play right now, that has some factors when you're playing outside or you're playing in the AFC North. Those have some factors, but when you're playing inside, every single dome is pretty much the same. I mean, the wind is pretty much the same too, right? You would say, Taryn. So that didn't play a factor in it. His workout and how he operated as an individual, that was a huge factor. And again, huge credit to our personnel department setting up the workout and being able to evaluate to bring in the right candidate for that job.
Parker said something after the game. He said about the last kick, and he said he didn't know until we said something what the distance on it was. He said, I just follow Bradley to wherever he's going on the field. And I wondered if that was normal for kickers in your experience, that they don't really, I would think that they're tracking every yard that the offense is getting so that they know. Are they just kind of going out there kicking every ball the same, trying to kick every ball the same?
You pretty much, you ask most kickers, like you're playing indoors, you're trying to hit every ball the same. Now, when you start getting to those really long distances, like 60, like you'll know, like when you're around the logo and you're standing on the logo, that's
right.
it. But whether you're kicking a PAT or if you're kicking a 50-yarder, you're trying to hit that same ball based on the hash you're on, whether you're left, middle, or right. Left hash, middle field, or right hash. So they're looking to hit their same ball, their A ball, their best ball. So for instance, Josh, you're not going to like pop the ball in when you're like 30 for a 33-yarder and then full swing it when you're hitting a 53-yarder. You're going to hit the same ball. Yeah. Now the angles may be slightly different, but that swing should be the same. And that's so like our guys, when they get out there, he's just looking at, okay, where's the spot? And then I take my steps from there. I get my foundation ready, my base, my setup, my approach, and then now my leg does the rest of the work.
Youngway's been through both ends of this whole thing, so I wonder if you feel the need to address the competition that's going on with him and with he and Romo right now, or if he just understands that this is the way it works. This is the life of a kicker in the league.
For one, Josh, I address everything with our specialist room. We're fully transparent in that room. There's no backdoor side conversations. Like we're all in the meeting room together, like watching film. So everything's being addressed, and like everything's a competition. Whether Koo is just here by himself, or Parker was just here by himself, or we have Lenny, Parker, and Koo here, everybody's competing, and they're competing versus the other kickers in the NFL and those free agents that are on the street. So every day it's a competition individually, for us as coaches, players, and collectively as a team. But everything's always addressed in our room, and we're fully transparent. And you can ask those guys. We're very transparent in our room when it talks about how we operate as a specialist unit.
What makes a good gunner? Sorry, totally different question.
You got to be fearless. You got to play with great effort. I mean, you talk about effort, attitude, technique. Those are one of the hardest positions to play. You're taking on a double team. You're taking on 3 blocks, taking on 1 block. You got to run downfield as fast as possible in the most efficient way. And you got to play with great effort and physicality. You have to have great speed. And then, by the way, you got to see where the ball's being kicked. Hopefully it does get kicked in that direction. And you got to tackle one of the most athletic, dynamic players on the field. So, it takes a lot. Like, it's hard to play that position, and they're putting a lot of miles in when they're running downfield. And it's cool to see guys like Mike Ford, who I've had the pleasure to coach 3 different times, second time here in Atlanta, to see him go out there and all his hard work and detail and awareness as a football player and his IQ come to life on Sunday night. And, we talk about all the time, like right before he made that play at the end of the game, I told him, like, hey, we're not done. He's like, yeah, I got to get the ball. And he got the ball. So that was pretty cool to see that. But it takes a lot of effort and attitude. Like, the mindset is – you got to have the crazy mindset to go out there and do that, because there's going to be times you don't win. But I look at effort, like when you're making great plays, it's not, okay, I'm always winning and stuff. What happens if you get double teamed and you get stuck? Austin Eckler, for example, He made the team with the Chargers. He was a rookie in 2017. He made the team in the last preseason game, because he got knocked down on the double team, fell on the ground on the backside, chased down the returner, and made a touchdown-saving tackle. That's how he made the team, because of that effort. Then that same year, he had 17 tackles on special teams. That same year, he was 2 running backs got hurt versus Philly, went in first carry, had a 35-yard touchdown. So it's cool to see, special teamers go out there like Hodge, go out there because of their role and how they play the game as a gunner, and then they're always one play away from playing on offense and defense, and then they get those opportunities. They go out there and make the most out of it.
When we all think of, punt returners, Devin Hester, Deion Sanders, we think of sort of the all-time greats. I'm wondering if, for special teams folks, there's like an all-time great gunners list. Are there guys that you show old clips of?
Oh, yeah.
Who are those?
I mean, number one is Matt Slater.
Okay.
Yeah, Slater is one of the best ever do it, and it sucked going against him because he was always going to be around the ball. I mean, I have a huge cut-up of all his special teams gunner tackles, and every week you knew he was getting double-teamed, and somehow, some way, he played with great effort and got to the ball. So right now, in my eyes, he's number one. Yeah, he is the standard. And you ask those guys in the locker room, you ask Ford and Hodge, they will say the same thing. Like, he is one of the best to ever play the game at that position. That's why he was an all-pro, multiple times, Pro Bowler. He is the standard at gunner.
Justin Bethel would be 1B.
I mean, there's a couple other guys. I mean, there's Matt Slater, then there's a line, and then there's other guys, yeah.
Oh, and the returns for Carolina, they've had a lot of returns.
Yeah.
ETN and Dowdle, I guess, are the kickoffs, and look like E. Moore, so
yeah.
Got one return.
So we'll start with Trevor Etienne, dual returner, rookie out of Georgia, has experience doing both in college, not a huge sample size, but he has great break tackle ability. He has good vision. So those any seams or holes on the coverage units, we got to close them quick, and you got to put a body on him as a tackler because he will run through arm tackles. And same thing with Rico. When Rico's back there on kickoff return, he has a couple explosive returns during his time in Dallas with the old kickoff play. So we got to be locked in because he will find a cutback lane or bounce the ball outside and get vertical. So we got to eliminate those seams. And then David Moore, he's done it before. I know he has previous experience with this coordinator in Seattle. He's more of a punt returner too, and he does a clean job of catching the ball and getting vertical as a punt returner as well. And he has special team experience as a coverage player too. But they have a group of guys that could come alive with the football, and it's our job to make sure that our punt and kick and coverage all work together. Just like, in defense, they talk about rush and cover working together. The same thing, punt and coverage. We got to work together and make sure that we eliminate those guys.
And the rookie punter, how's he doing? Fitzgerald, and I guess Martin is the punter.
Yeah, so Sam Martin is the veteran. I worked with him in Detroit in 2019. Great directional ability, really good at pooch punts, punting the ball inside the 20. And he's one of the better specialists. He could kick off. He could do onside kicks. Great holder. And then Fitzgerald, he was 100% coming out of Florida State last year. Just doing research on him. Had a great offseason, great training camp with Carolina, and he does a great job with his kickoffs. And he's a solid field goal kicker.
Parker going 11 for 12 last season, then coming here, first couple weeks. Then going back for his first game action this year, 5 for 5. Obviously, a huge part of the game. Does any of that surprise you? I mean, did you? I guess what were you think throughout this whole process of, selecting him to come here, being a part of that, and then also seeing all that decision making come to fruition?
Well, when you're making decisions, sometimes you got to make sure that you do a full evaluation of the whole situation to make sure that we're making the right decision or making the decision and we're collaborative with the decision as well. But, just doing our homework on Parker, whether it's from other people that we heard from, his work out here, watching the film, and then to answer your question, we weren't surprised. I wasn't surprised. We weren't surprised because, we got to spend time. In order to spend time with somebody and get to know them, you got to put in the work. There's no shortcuts to success. So like that was cool to see like him go out there and put his best foot forward. Yes, he went 5 for 5, 1 for 1 on the PAT, but those weren't all his best balls. We went up and watched the film, and there's things that we got to clean up as a specialist group, just because like that was our first time together. But was not surprised. Like that's the job. Like our job is to go out there and excel. I want everybody to be the best version of themselves. So to answer your question, not surprised.
Anything else? Appreciate you.
Thank you guys. You guys take care.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Coach, how do you feel? We'll go back to how they performed, and then we'll get move ahead to this game. But how did you feel your unit performed against the Minnesota Vikings?
I thought we took a step, definitely moving in the right direction. Where we need to be, absolutely not. We've got a lot to improve on in every phase. From a run defense standpoint, we can get better. From a pass defense, we can get better. Pass rush, execution, just in general, all of it can get better. Trending in the right direction, but not there. Not quite yet.
What was working for you in the pass rush game, man?
The guys, they executed the plan elitely at times, from a pass rush standpoint. And then there was times where guys just were winning, and it's been cool to see, especially some of these younger guys, as they really start to learn how to rush and how to learn how to rush in unison as a group. There's been huge improvements in that area. We still got a ways to go to get where we need to be, but it was a promising outing for us from that standpoint.
And looking ahead to the Panthers, what are some of the challenges they face? I know they started slow, but look like they got some stuff going late against Arizona.
Yeah, I think figuring out who they are on offense is the biggest challenge right now. Because you'll see a much more traditional style offense early in some of those games, and for the vast part of most of last year, you saw an offense. They were quarterback under center. There was run, there was play pass, there was keepers, there was quick game. There's just the traditional NFL offense that you see from week to week. But then there was this alternative version of them that came out and spread everything out, and max splits and empties, and you saw the quarterback flourish in that way. Where he was kind of playing point guard and distributing, and I think it gave him clarity as far as what he was getting from a defensive perspective, and he had great success doing it. It was a big part of the reason that they got back in that game last week. So when you prepare for this team, you're preparing for two offenses in some ways.
Do you consider in your coaching maybe Rook and Brandon part of that rookie group because they're so young?
Absolutely, yeah. I always think there's room for improvement, even for guys like Dio and Flo have found inches in their game. You don't last in this league unless you're constantly growing and evolving. But the big jumps typically come from those younger guys. And like you said, Rook and Dorless both played very little last year. So as much as they learn from a practice perspective, some of the greatest growth occurs on game day. And you get those necessary keloids, and you just got to go through it. And you're seeing like consistent strides from every preseason game from the first game to this game, and I think you'll continue to see that because both those guys are very self-motivated. They work their butts off out here, have amazing attitudes. They have this growth attitude all the time regarding they're never happy or there's never a point where I'm sitting there where they think they got it, and as long as we keep them in that mindset, they got bright futures. Both of them do.
Young players, I imagine, can come with some challenges in that they just don't have experience. You've got to teach them a lot more. But I wonder if there are some benefits, especially defensively, to adding an injection of youth to a group.
Yeah, for sure. Like they're hungry. This is their first time doing it for a lot of them, and there's something exciting about that. There's something scary too about that too, because.
Right.
You're going to have to go through these keloids with them, and that's part of the process of playing young players, and we're all okay with that because we see what we think these guys will become, and that's exciting as well. So it was good. This past Sunday was a good outing from the standpoint that a lot of the things were reinforced of why we put such a huge emphasis, whether it be schematically, technically, whatever it may be, but. Yeah, the future is bright for these guys, these young guys.
When you say keloids, what do you mean?
just you got to mess stuff up. It's like I tell you, it's it's like raising children, without a doubt. Like you tell your son not to touch the stove, and he doesn't really learn until he touches the stove, So there's going to be these moments where all these guys are going to have to touch the stove, and we're going to have to live through that. But ultimately, the byproduct of all that will be we're going to get a better finished product when it's all said and done.
You and Nate Ollie both during the preseason preached a lot rushing 4 as 1. Like
Yep.
Everyone gets a bite of the sandwich, or whatever the analogy is there.
Yep.
How exciting was that on the sideline when there were so many different guys getting a taste of the quarterback? Did you see them all feed off each other and be excited for each other?
Oh, without a doubt. The DNA of this group is so selfless, and they root for each other at the highest levels. One of the better groups I've ever been around in that way. And I think they're really starting to feel the value of the wave rushing, where my buddy gets to wear him out, and then I get to go out there and I get to rush against the guy that's not at his peak, and I think there's something demoralizing in that way for an offense when there's a constant, flood of fresh blood and legs and energy, and there's times, especially in this league nowadays, where there's a lot of self-promotion and there's a lot of selfishness. We don't have that here. We really don't. It's not something we battle on a day-to-day basis. These guys they pull for each other as much as they pull for themselves. And with that type of attitude, we're going to have great success rushing the passer, because when you can do it in waves, I think it's just when you don't have to put that governor on. When you can just give everything you got and empty the tank, good things happen.
Raheem talked about earlier this week the younger players making sure they don't get too excited out of last Sunday's win and not stay focused for this week. Do you take that upon yourself, since there are so many young guys on the defense, or do you let the veteran players kind of make sure the young guys stay in check?
I think it's all of us. It takes a village to raise these guys, and the veterans in this group have been amazing in that way, giving them perspective and bringing them back down to earth and telling them the truth when the world's trying to tell them something otherwise. And then at the same time, I've tried to be the same in that, the process, it's not affected with wins, with losses, with good performances, with bad performances. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. We clear and we attack every single week, every single practice, every single meeting, every single walkthrough, everything in the same way, regardless of the outcomes.
6 different players had a part in sack, and then you've got 2 of the rookies came in and got an interception. How encouraging is that to see it basically all levels of the defense?
Yeah. It's exciting. It's exciting to have, that much production from very young guys who are just scratching the surface of their potential and becoming the players they can be. So, yeah, it's an exciting time for this defense. These young players are having such early success. Now we got to keep working, because they still have a long ways to go. And the beauty of it, like I've said a million times over, they're built the right way, and they're going to approach this the right way. They really are. They proved that this week already.
What does a game like Sunday, when y'all play well, do for the young defenders' confidence that to show you that all the things that the coaches have been telling you actually work?
Oh, it's cool. It's cool for sure. You know what I'm saying? Just see everything come to fruition, seeing our dreams come true out there, like Bill said. You get what I'm saying? So just more so proving to ourselves for sure.
You guys, the 4 rookie draft picks, spent a lot of time together this offseason, did you? Just because of all the stuff you've got to do?
Yeah.
Did you become pretty close as a group?
Yeah, I say we spent a lot of time together, just naturally off stuff we doing. But then it became genuine after a while. Like, yo, where Bill at? Where Jay Walk at? Them calling to check on me, like, yo, you on the way in already? You know what I'm saying? So just stuff like that. It became more genuine.
How much does that make a difference in the way that you play and playing together?
It's everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see him. It's just a different way to give each other your all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just look at your brother, know where he's going on, where he at in life, and stuff like that.
Jesse said something today to the effect of, y'all try to say that I've got to do my job so that my brother next to me can do his job. How much is that word brother, do y'all really try to take that literally and to heart?
Yeah, we try to play together as a family. I feel like that's the way we're going to get the best out of each other. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is out there, us relying on each other. You feel me? It's bullets flying, mama watching. You get what I'm saying? It's a dangerous game. So
right.
He got to have my back like he's my brother. You know what I'm saying? And the bond and the connection and the time we spend together helps it.
How many text messages and calls did you get after that game Sunday?
I ain't really a big phone guy. You know
You're
what I'm saying? No, hell no. I run from the phone. I'm not a big phone guy.
Well, that's probably healthy.
Yeah.
Good for your mental health.
Yeah.
What did you think of Jalen and Billy and Xavier and the way that they played? How happy were you for that?
Great, but I see it every day out here on the practice field, us getting better, us training. You get what I'm saying? So what happened on Sundays be no surprise. You know what I'm saying?
How many times has one of the veterans or one of the coaches said to y'all, it's a long season, now we've got to go do this 15 more times in the last 2 days? I imagine you've heard that a bunch.
Yeah, for sure. Just especially like dealing like with little hiccups, make sure you're taking care of your body and things like that. That's the message. That's always the message. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit longer.
How are you feeling? Because I know you were limited yesterday with the groin.
Yeah, I'm good. Just getting better. You know what I'm saying? Being a pro, learn how to take care of the body. Everything we want still out in front of us.
Any thoughts on going home to play at home on Sunday?
Yeah, for sure. Last time I played in the stadium, I ain't come out with no sacks how I wanted to, so I'm trying to get something on the ground, for sure.
Extra family there?
Yeah, that's hometown. Family gonna probably be all through there. Family, friends.
How many tickets have you had to round up, or you stay out of that?
I stay out of it.
This is such a simple question, but how fun was the game Sunday? Because it seemed like the defense was on a different level, and it was because it performed so well.
Game Sunday was fun, you know what I'm saying? First primetime game, Sunday night football game for me, us as a team this year. You know what I'm saying? First time this group been together, so I was stoked for it.
What's it like when you get to the sidelines in one of those kinds of games where it feels like every guy's having their turn, kind of getting to the quarterback, getting in the backfield, making plays, doing all that kind of stuff?
I think the message is speaking to something like what he said, what JB said, like us doing our job so our brother can do theirs, you know what I'm saying? So that's just us playing off each other, making the job, making the game easy.
What's your relationship like with Rook and Brandon Dorless so far?
Rook, right beside me on the other side of my locker, you know what I'm saying? So that's my guy. And I was finna buy a house across the street from him. I don't know, that's probably too much, but that's probably too much. But yeah, that's my guy though. That's my guy. Him beating my guys, you know what I'm saying? We gotta be extra tuned in. We rush beside each other. It wasn't gonna be on my side. I'm gonna be on their side. So.
Do you consider Rook and Brandon kind of part of your rookie class just because they're second-year guys? They didn't play a ton last year.
Nah. They giving me the ropes since I got here. They showed me how to do things, so there's no way I can put them in that category.
I'll but laugh at the post-game interview on Sunday where you didn't know Leonard Floyd, which is understandable. Like, you've only were here for 5 days, but did you find that funny? Did you find it humorous that you kicked 5 field goals, helped the team win, but still didn't know all your teammates' names?
I mean, it's just kind of what you expect. I mean,
Yeah.
in the NFL, and you go into a new building and you meet everybody in the front office, and
Right.
all your new teammates. There's a few guys that you're familiar with, either from being with other teams or playing in college. But yeah, it's hard to learn everybody's names, and we'll get there eventually.
You need like a meet and greet or something with everybody, like set up a table and everyone come over.
Right. Yeah. No. It's all up to me, like how I spend my time just trying to get to know the guys between meetings and practice, and everybody's trying to focus on their job too. So figuring out the right time to go up to people.
How do you stay locked in where a situation where you're only in the building for a few days, you're still kind of in a competition, so to speak, but and you're going against a home team that has a great fan base that you know very well, with a raucous crowd. Like, how do you kind of stay locked in?
Just every day, just focusing on my job, just doing my part. Anything I can do to help the team out that's what I'm here to do. So just not worrying about any sort of competition, but the competition between me and myself. So that's it.
Drake, we were just talking to him. He said that he finally started chatting. He chatted with you a little bit today for the first time. Little get to know you conversation with him.
Yeah. So after the game, his family was right next to my family in the family section. So it just kind of happened naturally that I at least met his parents, as well as Bijan's grandparents. So it was kind of funny just to be right next to them, like after I was just with Bijan too. So.
How long does that take to feel like, I'm with my teammates, like that feeling of like that team?
Just kind of happens naturally, and especially in the NFL, everything happens so fast that you just kind of have to take people in as they come. And I've been very grateful that everybody in this organization has done so.
You said on Sunday that you were going to kind of enjoy the win for 24 hours and then get back to work. Do anything cool in those 24 hours? Anything fun?
My family moved in. Yeah,
Okay.
they've moved in from Arkansas, so I'm very happy to be with them. Yeah.
your wife and
Wife, 2 kids.
2 kids, okay.
And a boy on the way.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Congrats. How old are
Thank
your kids?
2 and 7 months.
Wow, okay.
2 girls, yeah.
3 under 3 possibly.
3 under 3.
Yeah, wow.
So, like, what has this last, 7-10 day span been for you? You go to a new team,
Yeah.
competition,
Yeah.
5 field goals, PAT, your family moves in. Is that not crazy?
It's very busy. It's very busy, but it's a good busy. You know, I'm happy to be doing it. It's always been a dream. So got a lot of support.
Is that, I mean, does that represent confidence that you're moving the family and that, you're going to be here for a minute?
It's just what
Yeah.
what the family is able to do at the moment.
Right.
Like she has her doctorate, so she had like a pretty big job. But since having kids too, like we want somebody that can be there to raise them, and she's amazing.
Got it.
You looked pretty charged up after at least the first field goal. I don't know if that's kind of is that your typical kind of like demeanor when you out there, or is that just like...
The first field goal was a little bit closer to the left upright than I wanted it to be, and I was just excited to see it go through. But I'm a guy who just kind of like to enjoy the game. I was with Cam Bynum last year. Everybody saw his celebrations, and I think he's already had 1 or 2 this year. So just trying to have fun with it, and like energy is big.
Do you feel a certain comfortability in the game itself when you're going out to kick like your 3rd or 4th field goal of the game versus when you're going out to kick the first one, especially when it's like a new team, you're getting this opportunity?
Not necessarily. I try to treat every kick like it's the exact same. Doesn't matter if it's a game winner or game tying or first drive of the game, just trying to go out there and execute my job.
How do you stay present where here we are asking you about your future, your family's moving in, but at the same time, it is the NFL where you personally know it can be a different team next week. How do you stay present and not think too far ahead?
Just focusing on where my feet are. And my feet are in this building, and I'm going to do everything I can to get some wins for the team.
Have you seen mom and dad? I know you said you and your dad and your brother went out to dinner last week. Have you seen anybody since the game?
Since the game,
Yeah.
I mean, just my immediate family, like the wife and kids.
Right.
And then I have plans to see another friend from Peachtree City coming up for dinner, but not really many other people.
Does it feel different because you're coming into a situation where you are from here, and you have friends and close family that are already here? Is that a cool feeling that you're almost coming home in a sense?
Yeah. I think that's what a lot of the emotion was last week is just being back in Georgia. Just like it's very cool to come back home and have a lot of familiar friends' faces and knowing the area and seeing the Falcons logo again. It's pretty cool.
Now everyone's gonna be asking you for tickets for the next home game. They're gonna be hitting you up.
No.
He's a gamer. He just has it in him, and he wants to win football games just like everybody else on his team. I think even more so. I think the step that he's taken is being a little bit more vocal leader and also leading by example and just being a quarterback. He knows how to do that. I mean, he's led Washington to a national championship, all things like that. So I think he's coming more into himself, and it's really, really cool to see, and it's really, really good for us.
Wasn't that Washington game last year was like maybe the first time you saw those leadership abilities, like to go on the road in that big environment when they had the playoffs on the line?
Yeah, he never batted an eye at anything, even when stuff went wrong or maybe a person missed something or he missed something. His face stayed the same, his demeanor stayed the same, and he just wanted to go out there and make things right.
I was wondering if you got a chance to talk to the kicker, Parker Romo, before.
I just started talking to him.
Met him.
Yeah. He said what's up.
Okay.
I think one of the first people I said what's up to, or he said what's up to, but just talked to him right now. Asked him where his whereabouts is, where he's from. He's from Georgia, which is pretty cool. I said it's my first time really, really talking to him, and he's a cool dude.
I thought it was just interesting that in the post-game interview on Sunday, he didn't know who Leonard Floyd was, and he just kicked 5 field goals for y'all. And he was still new enough to not know everyone. That's a unique situation, is it not?
Yeah, kickers are a unique situation in general. I mean, you can go from not kicking to reviving your career in a second, so it's crazy. But yeah, happy for Romo, man.
Is that cool to have someone that literally you didn't even know until a few days ago come in and, you know, go 5 for 5 and help you all get the victory?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, he helped us win a W. I don't really care who you are. If you help us win a W, I mean, that's amazing, and you deserve all the credit in the world. So he came in, he locked in, and he did his stuff, and we were rewarding him for it. So, yeah.
How would you assess the red zone offense right now? Because I know that's something that you guys talked about a lot last year, you know, getting better in that area.
Yeah, it's only going to get better from here. I think it's decent right now with what teams are giving us, but I know we need to score, and that's our goal every time we get into the red zone is score. So definitely working on it and trying our best to make it better.
We were talking with Zach yesterday about how it seems like teams are really playing back to try to take away the deep ball from Mike. Have you noticed that as well?
Yeah. I mean, kid has an absolute cannon for an arm, and his accuracy is really, really good. So, of course, some teams are going to be scared of that. Some teams are going to dare you to throw it. Some teams are going to dare you to run it. But, I mean, either way, I like our odds.
Is that a lot of respect for a young player, would you say, in your experience? Like, is that more respect than, you know, a young quarterback usually gets shown in the league?
Yeah. It depends on how you take it. I mean, you can take it as if they don't have respect for the O-line. They want to see, you know what I'm saying? You can take it all different ways. But, yeah, for him, it's definitely some respect for not.
Mike had been talking after, obviously, the Week 1 game, leading into the Minnesota game, that, you know, there was an emphasis on, you know, we need to be more physical at the point of attack, and we've had conversations about that as a team. Not asking for specifics, but, like, what were those kind of conversations like as a team, kind of getting yourself kind of back to that and then being able to execute it?
Yeah, playing in real fire. You got to have a sort of mentality about yourself and a sense of urgency when you get out there onto the field, and I think that's what the conversations were for real. But I think everybody took it in the right light, and we are most definitely trending in that direction, if you can't tell from last week.
You guys, you know, go on the road and beat a good Vikings team 22-6, even though maybe the offense did not play as well as you would have liked. Do you enjoy that? You know, that the defense stepped up the way it did. Like, are you coming off the field happy, or are you still a little bit frustrated that, hey, we didn't, you know, get it done the way we wanted to?
For offense, the competitor in us is still mad because we want those points. We want it to be a 40-point game instead of a 22. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the defense, is like it's so fun to see them constantly get 3 and outs, stop on a big 4th down. You have pick here, you have fumble, whatever it might be. So really, really sick, really, really cool to see.
Did you, like, whether it maybe was it TAs or training camp, did you notice that, like, oh, okay, this defense is going to be different this year? Like, these guys are really getting after it.
Yeah.
Because you're going up against them in practice, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I've been going up against them for a while now, and I know who those guys are. And there's a ton of talent over there, and we added even more talent. So it was definitely much harder than some training camps. I wasn't really thinking of, like, oh, they're going to, like, be freaking mopping people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, no, they literally are, and Brick is doing a great job at it, and he has those guys rallied around each other, and they're like their own family. So it's really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
Are you guys having fun just, like, watching them play when you're on the sidelines? Like, or are you too locked in to kind of, like, focusing on what you got to do on the next drive or whatever?
I'm mainly locked in. I watch from the big screen, but it's really cool to just see them flying around, making plays, and also the young cats too, how they stepped up and they just done their deal is really cool to see.